In the first days of April, the news came from Idlib that the militant groups controlled the whole city. Al-Nusra Front, Ahrar al-Sham and Jund al-Aqsa have gathered themselves under the title of Al-Fath Army. After 4 days of the beginning of the first clashes between the governmental forces and the militant groups, these clashes aimed to drive back the governmental forces in this city. Videos on social media sites showed us that some militants were in the middle of the city in front of the governor building and Al-Ba'ath party's building. The extremist groups claim that this battle, Liberation of Idleb, also known as the Conquest of Idleb, is aiming for releasing Idlib from the regime's power. So they've brought all the forms of support and all the kinds of weapons, including tanks related to Ahrar al-Sham, hell guns, mortars and missiles. They even captured women and took them to unknown places according to some resources. The estimates of the number of fighters who invaded Idlib ranged from 12 to 15,000. Where on earth did those fighters with their tanks and heavy weapons come from? Well, the answer wouldn't be too hard if we bear in mind that Idlib is a strategic Syrian city on the borders with Turkey, and that the fighters have their way very well paved from the Turkish territories into Syria. The question is, was it a mere coincidence that both attacks on southern Syria from Jordan and on northern Syria from Turkey were both synchronized? This reveals the regional coordination in support to these militant groups.
I think the West has changed its calculations after the rise of ISIS, but that doesn't mean they changed their approach to the conflicts in Syria, in Iraq, and in our region. I don't think they've learned the lesson well.
Idlib is the second city that gets totally out of the regime's power after Raqqa, which is under ISIS power. Some videos show that this city is almost empty from its inhabitants. Maybe that these civilians are afraid of this battle, so they left their city, and the question remains, Idlib, where to? Jiana Murched, MEC.